Hello, and welcome to Tales from Twists, the show where we recap your childhood. My name is Joe Lewis. I'm joined today by a man who is alone on his own island of dreams. It's Anthony Bull.
Hey Joe, how's it going?
I'm great. It's the last episode.
Yeah, it's the last episode of the season. We did it. It's the crawl. We are Australia Crawl.
We made it.
Yeah,
Crawl.
I know, Australia Crawl. That's a band, right?
It's Australia Crawl.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's an Australian brand.
Australian brand?
Australian band, right? Or is it a type of like swimming?
I don't know. What kind of music do they make?
I don't know. I
don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know. You said it's a long crawl. I said, yeah, it's a long haul.
I
long
never
crawl.
said anything about crawls.
Well, for some reason, someone was talking about Australian Crawl. I don't know what they do, but they're a band. They're also some form of swimming. I think it's freestyle as Australian Crawl. I don't know.
This is the...
That sounds about right. That sounds good to me. We're crawling through this like Australians on a desert island.
It's a strong start for the last episode of Round the Twist that we'll ever do. We're gonna do a few more recapping episodes after this. We might do a couple lists or something, but this is the last actual episode. This is our last recap episode for Round the Twist. Does it make you feel sad?
Yeah, it does. I'm just picturing all the subscribers leaving. Well, you see the ratings. I see the numbers. I see the numbers, people. I see them.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's our most popular show is the Round the Twist one.
Yeah, well, we'll have to find something else interesting to do.
People like
we?
lists too, or at least the downloads say that. People might say, fucking hate lists, but they might download it anyway because, hey, that's people, Sometimes they download things just to piss people off.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
True. But so this is our last episode. A year and a half ago, or over a year and a half ago now, we started doing this.
Nearly 2 years.
Are we nearly at 2 years?
In November, it'll be 2 years.
Jeez, that's a long time that we've been talking about nonsense.
I know, right? It's almost as long as a piece of string.
Yeah, so we've been doing this nearly 2 years, and this is the end of at least the first chapter of Joe and Anthony's podcast show, The Adventures of Round the Twist.
And only at the end is it that we were actually went and started and got invited or went to going to Ozpod, the podcasting conference in Sydney. Yeah,
so we'll have been there already by the time this episode gets released. So you might see something about that pop up on our social media, maybe. But
you might have seen some live videos. I don't know.
What kind of live videos are you planning on taking? You getting drunk at the networking event?
Well, just taking a live video of the Sydney sunrise and being like, that's Nell's spirit rising from the grave. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. There's going to be free drinks, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
I'm going to write that down. Remember to write that down. Future Anthony, remember to do that.
We are here to talk about Isle of Dreams. So we start off the episode with a teaser, as we always do. And for the last time, we look at a teaser of something that tells us a little bit about what's going to happen in the episode. It's the Twist kids, and they're walking across water to this mysterious island that disappears to reveal the title, Isle of Dreams. What did you think of the font, Anthony?
I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. I got no idea because I've lost my page one of notes.
You're an absolute disgrace.
To supplement, I've got the Australian Financial Review, and I'll read select sections of it until I catch up.
This is our final Round the Twist episode. We've been training for this for 2 years, and this is the best that you can do.
Well,
this is a disgrace.
So this is my font report. BHP expects 79 billion and Brazil claims to fall. That's definitely my that is my contribution. That is just an apt response of what is a font when it's a Brazilian mining.
You are the absolute worst.
Don't worry, I'm coming back in. I'll be there in a sec.
We start off the actual episode, and Pete is dreaming of girls.
Yeah, of course.
And Linda is dreaming of the meaning of life. And she's like, oh, it's small and fluffy.
I'm sick of this meaning of life crap from Linda. Like, honestly. Is she some sort of like existentialist philosopher? She's not. She's just some teenage girl. She doesn't know the meaning of life. She's 16. There's nothing to concern herself with. Did you ever have that worry that every day that you might die the next day? Is that something you used to worry about?
No.
I used to worry about that.
Why?
Because I worried that you might die one day, or you might die the next day.
Mm.
And that the last night might have been the last time you go to sleep. That was something that worried me.
Sure.
So I guess maybe I should sympathize with Linda.
I guess.
Yeah.
You could if you wanted to, I guess.
Well, I do. I sympathize with her entirely.
Okay.
But I'm calling her foolish because young kids and their philosophy are foolish.
Bronson's dreaming about food, as would be expected.
Yeah. What else would he be dreaming about?
I don't know. And he smells.
Oh, yeah, true.
And he's dreaming...
You know what he should have been dreaming about?
What?
Parmesan cheese.
Why Parmesan cheese?
Because it smells, but it was also food.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's better smellier foods you could have come up with in that slot.
Lutefish.
Blue cheese.
Lutefish.
Lutefish?
Yeah, it's like
What's a lutefish?
some Swedish fish that smells disgusting, but people in Sweden eat it.
Is that the one that comes in a can?
I think so. Samu, if you're listening, can you tell us if people in Finland eat that? And if they don't, can you tell us the Finnish people's opinion of that? And Joe will now remind people who Samu is.
Why is that my responsibility?
Because you do it so well. You do it so well.
You bring up somebody,
Yeah.
and then it's your job to introduce them. Why is it suddenly my job? I'm going to do your verbal handiwork for you, am I?
Yes.
Samu's one of our Finnish listeners. Our only Finnish listener. So Bronson is dreaming of peanut butter, chips, and gherkins. And Tony's dreaming. He's like, oh, where's the nappy? Where's the nappy? And then Faye's like, I'm wearing the nappy. Who knows what they get up to
Fucking weird parents, eh?
their bedtime. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, but wearing nappies is a little weird. It's a little weird.
There's worse things that you could be into.
There is definitely worse things you could be into. Like, some things are illegal, but still weird.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Pete, we go back to him and he's like, you'll rip my shirt? Okay, then. So what's he dreaming about?
He's dreaming about a very sexually aggressive Fiona.
Is it Fiona?
Well, could have been Fred.
Could have been Fred. The knight appears and Pete says, oh, you were watching me sleep. Did anything happen? And he looks down towards his legs.
Yep.
As if he was checking for something.
A little bulge.
What could he possibly be checking for?
Maybe a little bulge down there, I don't know. And maybe a little rise in the stock market, if you tell what I'm saying.
And the knight says, I need to talk to you. It's time. And then Tony appears and he says, it's time. Faye's having a baby. And then he leaves and then he double takes and he comes back and he says, was there a man just in here? Like with flowy robes and a knight helmet? And Pete's like, no, there definitely wasn't a man in my room.
I'm not hiding men in my closet. That's just insane.
Yeah. Not doing any...
Bit on the nose there around the Twist Riders. We get it.
I still don't know if that's what they were trying to do.
Well, the guy comes through a door, or the guy girl comes through a magic door, which is essentially into a room is basically a closet, as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's reaching a little bit there, Anthony.
It might be reaching, but, it's subversive.
What's subversive?
It's subversive. Back to the two mums, man. Back to the two mums.
Back to the two mums on Play School.
They couldn't do it publicly, so they had to do it very quietly and subversively.
This was probably... maybe it was after. This could have been after the two mums. This changes everything.
This was a pre-9/11 world, baby. Anything could happen.
This episode took place after 9/11.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this was like 2004 at this point.
No, it's 2001, man.
No, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's way before 9/11. It's just before it gets released.
No, man.
Yeah.
I think if you look this episode up, it says 2004 on it.
I bet Joe's wrong.
I bet you're wrong.
Well, there we go. So, viewers, prove us right or wrong.
If you're a timelineologist, and you know when things happen.
If you have a DeLorean, or have dreams of buying one and driving back in time, tell us if this came out before or after 9/11.
It seems to be very important information
we need to know. Actually, if I just want to break that. If you have a DeLorean that can travel back in time, maybe you could try to stop 9/11. That's a cool thing. Just to throw it out there as an idea. Okay, go. Just saying, if you have a time machine, that's a good fucking use, right?
Yeah. The Twists leave. Tony has sympathy pregnancy.
Oh.
Is this a thing? So he has symptoms of pregnancy as well. He's got like a sore back and he's like got a bloated stomach and he's walking around carrying his stomach and he's like, oh, I can feel the contractions too.
I've heard something like phantom pregnancy, but I think that's just... Maybe it's a commentary on how he's a sissy. Or like, you know how we were talking about before, how like the men in Round the Twist tend to be far more emasculated.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that.
Well, perhaps. He's got sympathy pregnancy and Gribble is building his ice dream kiosk.
Where is he building it? He's building it right on the lighthouse cliff, which...
So he's building it right next to the lighthouse and the Planeteers.
The Planeteers are like, you can't build that here. This is a heritage listed site.
Wrong show. The Twists are like, oh, you can't build this here. That's going to block our view. It's like, what? You live in a lighthouse.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's like, you're kind of selfish. It's like, oh, but I like to watch it with my coffee. It's like, go up the top of the light. You have a lighthouse.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
It's like someone who builds a skyscraper, right? and it owns the whole thing, and then it's like, oh, you shouldn't build a house in front of my floor 1 because I won't be able to see out past floor 1. It's like, you got an entire skyscraper, mate. Any of those rooms, any of those bloody, the top of it, you can look out.
Yeah.
But you're so bloody selfish, you got to look at your bloody floor 1 because you're too lazy to climb. You take your bloody Nescafe or whatever up the stairs so you can watch the dawn break.
Your bloody Nescafe.
That's what he's doing. He's drinking a red cup of Nescafe with Faye up there and drinking it. Classic Nescafe ad.
Is this before or after Tony's morning bong?
I imagine they're the same thing. That's what he calls Nescafe. It's like, I'm just having some Nescafe.
Just having a big bowl of Nescafe.
Yeah, see what I'm saying, man.
Some of our listeners like to write in and inform us about what they thought about the episode and their thoughts and theories as we go along. And we've got 2 listeners that have written in this week. The great Regan Pontillo, the man who started it all, he wrote in and said, hey guys, can I contribute to the episodes? And we said, yeah, sure, why not? So it's called Pontillo's Pontifications. So we've got some stuff from him today. And we've also got some stuff from a newer listener. It's Nate Holmes. So he's Canadian.
He is.
So you can forgive him for a strange name, Nate. Do you know anyone in Australia named Nate?
No, I don't.
I think we glossed over that the first time he wrote in. He said, is this a weird thing for us?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't know. Nate? I don't know anyone Australian named Xavier, or I don't even know anyone Australian named George. So, saying but
it's not a common nickname.
George is a common name.
No, Nate. Nate's
but George is common. I don't know any Georges.
Why is George relevant?
Because you're saying, oh, you know any Nates in Australia? I was like, no,
I'm just saying.
But I don't know any fucking Georges either. There could be tons of Nates. There could be a shit ton of Nates all over in WA. Maybe everyone in WA is called Nate. Maybe that's what it's like, because they're like mate, but it's like late for Nate or something. I don't know.
It's late for Nate.
It's one extra M because they go a little bit further in WA.
Yeah, but
so they don't like to say mate, they say Nate.
What I'm saying...
Name just offended the entire WA state of Western Australia.
Nobody cares about WA.
Yeah, no one does care. Now that the mining boom's over, it's like no one gives a shit. Go away.
You want it to be your own country? You can do that now if you want to. Apologies to any of our listeners that live in WA. We do love you.
Well, actually, you know who lives in WA?
Who?
Pontillo lives in WA.
Sorry, Pontillo. So Pontillo's written in and he says, Harold explains his latest plan of establishing an ice cream kiosk. I feel like they're rehashing the plot from Season 3, Episode 11, The Ice Cream Man Cometh, where Gribble had an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
I think the writers could have chosen something else, perhaps not a whale-shaped toilet, Series 1, like a souvenir shop, for example, to attract tourists. Yeah. What do you think that Gribble could have built here instead of an ice cream shop?
Could have built a... So the idea about it being the ice cream shop is that you could show all the girls off in their nice low-cut outfits.
What?
Well, that's why. It's because it was to imply there was summer, so the girls would all wear like really nice, revealing outfits on the show.
No,
that episode.
The idea that it was an ice cream shop is so that they could say "Ice Dream Shop" constantly, referring to the Isle of Dreams.
Okay, well then just make it a chocolate shop. I don't know.
A what?
A chocolate shop, and it's like dream chocolate. I dream
it could
chocolate.
Have been anything else.
Could have been a burlesque house.
Yeah, I just don't understand where it... Well, I think I understand why it was an ice cream shop, because there's an ice cream shop at the 12 Apostles.
What is the thing that Bronson wanted Harold Gribble to build in Season 2?
What are you talking about?
Remember he goes up to... He's having a meeting.
Yeah.
Gribble's having a meeting. He said, and I brought this to the arcade, and then what else can I bring? And then Bronson says, how about... Was it a hamburger joint, right?
No, he has a hamburger joint.
Well, what was the thing that Bronson wanted him to build?
I don't remember.
I thought it was a hamburger joint.
You're asking me for one throwaway sentence.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
4 seasons of Around the Twist.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was a hamburger joint, and if it was, it should have been the hamburger joint that they built there. Like a hamburger little mini stand thing with ice cream as well.
Mm.
Because then it would have been like Bronson's wish coming true.
Sure.
And you could have made it even better because then Bronson would have wanted the hamburger place to stay, where the rest of his family didn't.
The Twist are very upset that this ice cream shop's going to go in their driveway, essentially. And they're like, oh, it's going to be terrible. And Gribble's like, well, you can move.
Yeah.
If you want.
You can move, actually.
And Tony and Faye, they start to groan because they're both having contractions. And Matron, who's a medical professional, she's like, oh, you'd better leave before one of you has the baby. It's like, all right, Matron. Thanks for doing your medical duty.
Yeah, thanks for following your non-Hippocratic oath, because you don't take one.
What do nurses take? What kind of oath do nurses take?
The nursing oath.
What's the nursing oath?
I don't know. It just involves caring for people and being sassy at every opportunity.
Have you seen a show called Getting On?
No, I have not.
It's a show about nurses in a hospital. It's great.
Is it about a show about nurses getting on with the doctors?
No, they're just elderly. Well, they're not elderly. They're just middle-aged nurses. And they're
that
hilarious.
would be fun. That'd be fun because they'd just be like, they'd be all sassy.
Yeah, they don't care.
I don't even care. You know,
They're British.
Oh, okay.
So they're super dry.
Oh, okay. Super dry.
That's pretty funny.
So it's a Carlton Drought of medical drinks, medical shows.
Sure. There's one doctor and she's ridiculous. She's studying stool samples.
Oh, isn't that a ridiculous thing to do? Studying stool samples.
How dare a British woman study stool samples?
What are they going to think of next?
What will they indeed? And Faye says, "This isn't over, Mr. Ice Dream." And Gribble laughs maniacally.
Yep.
The twist.
He's manipulated the council to give him a permit that lets him build his ice
Well,
cream
he is
place.
the council.
Exactly.
The twists return, and it was a false alarm, and Tony says, I think we should really rethink our position on painkillers. Of course you would, Tony.
'Cause you're a pussy.
You druggo. It's like, I think we should get some, what's that thing called? Is it called oxycodone?
Oxycodone?
Let's get, I've heard of that. I've heard that's really good at getting rid of pain.
Yeah, get some
I feel like we
Oxycontin.
should get some of that.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Not that new stuff that you can't crush up. We need the old stuff because that's important. I need to be able to crush it up. It's important.
It's very important because I'm having trouble swallowing.
Also, do you have any green whistles? just lying around. You know, it's good for my wife. It'll be fine.
On the scale of painkillers, how good is the green whistle?
Never had it.
I don't know. But we've got a friend who's a paramedic.
Yeah, apparently they do it all the time.
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Apparently it's good, but I imagine morphine's better.
Isn't it morphine? I thought it was morphine.
I've got no idea what it is. It's probably some bullshit thing like diamethylene. Someone's going to write in and say, you are close, but not even close, Anthony.
Oxydiamethylene.
Probably.
Well, sure, why not?
Why not?
And Linda thinks it's gone too far. She's like, Dad, this sympathy pregnancy is too far, you giant pussy.
Well, good on you, Linda. Good on you.
The weeds rotted his brain, Linda. He can't think straight.
It has caused holes in his brain, okay?
He's got big square eyes for watching TV too much, and he's got little holes in his brain, and also his penis fell off because he masturbated too much.
Exactly. Those are scientific facts.
Faye runs to confront Gribble, and Tony follows, and he's like, think of the baby! Think of the baby, Faye! And the kids go inside, and they're sad. And they're like, we've been neglected. We're like second-class twists. It's like we don't even exist. And Linda says, I know why I exist, but why?
Wait, what?
I know I exist, but why? I said it wrong.
Okay,
pick up on my little misspeakings.
Well, it could have just simply been, I know I exist, but I don't know why, and it made no sense. The writers of the show could do that. And they do that all the time.
And Pete says, maybe there is no meaning. And Linda says, you're right. I know it.
Oh, excellent. I'm back in. I'm up to the notes.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us.
No more ASX results for you guys.
Only 20 minutes into the episode, Anthony has decided to join. So,
excellent.
Thanks for that, Anthony. The knight arrives and says, Pete, we need to talk. And then Pete gets a phone call. And he's like, I've got to go see her. And he's off, and he's begging Fiona to take him back. And Fiona's like, you just don't know what you want, Pete Twist. And Pete's like, do you want a serious commitment? And Fiona says, do you mean it? And then they close in for a kiss, and then they kiss.
Yeah.
And
it's very romantic.
Everyone's happy. Back at the lighthouse, Gribble's building his ice cream store, and Nell and Faye are really mad. They're like, this is bullshit. You can't build this here. There's no notice. And Gribble says, well, actually, I've given you 3 months' notice. I paid the boys to put up signs. And they're like, we couldn't do it because we went to the butcher's and they were out of steaks.
Oh, it's so funny, so funny.
Because steaks is 2 words.
It is.
a meat and one is
the thing you drive into the ground.
Yeah. That is indeed the joke there.
A bit like that joke.
And Pete comes home and he says, I never want to look at another girl ever again.
What a liar. What a liar, Pete Twist.
And the knight appears, and it turns out that, surprise!
She's really hot.
It's not a man. It's a princess.
She's also pretty hot. And it's like, well, I'm going to reconsider everything I just thought about. Well, I'm not going to look at another girl, but this girl's pretty hot, so...
Yep, so Pete has a bit of a perv, and it turns out the princess is from Atlantis.
Yes.
Okay,
Gaia's home.
Guy's home.
There's a little crossover there.
And Ariel says, I'm from the Isle of Dreams. Ariel's the name of the night. And she says, I'm from the Isle of Dreams. There's no violence there, suffering, or hunger. And Atlanteans have to travel to Earth occasionally to get a soulmate because there's not many people there, and we have to choose our soulmate ourselves. And she, it turns out, has chosen Pete because he's a persistent hero.
Okay.
He's very persistent in his love life, and he saved the Earth multiple times, apparently. How many times has Pete Twist saved anything?
0. She's never done anything of importance to warrant.
Well,
that
has
type
there
of
ever
thing.
been a disaster that they've prevented from happening?
Let's think about this.
There's been Port Niranda disasters, or stopping Gribble from buying the lighthouse.
There's the Vikings, which are nothing. He didn't do anything for that. What else is there? There's the Dryad.
He was pregnant.
He was pregnant. I guess that deserves a medal. He was a dog once. That's something. Yeah, he did nothing to deserve this. He's done nothing of importance.
Sure.
Unless, of course, listeners, you can think of a reason why Pete Twist might be the hero that saves the Earth.
They head outside, and the Twists are talking about Atlantis. And we have a note here from Pontillo. The mysterious knight is finally revealed as Ariel, Princess of Avalon, portrayed by Michelle Banas, who has appeared in an array of Australian television series, such as McLeod's Daughters and Upper Middle Bogan, although I remember her mostly from Always Greener.
Nobly Hitler's there?
I don't know. I'd have to check out her IMDb
probably
page
on Blue
myself.
Hills.
If you look back through the credits of each episode as early as S04E13, I believe, her name is listed, and it even has her character's name listed as Ariel throughout. That was probably, obviously, a production thing.
Yeah.
The producers were like, oh, it's the character's name, blah, 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 put it in the credits.
Yeah.
They're not worried about 10-year-olds working
it
out.
Like, well, they also this existed before the internet had the whole expose thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'd just be like, who's this Ariel character? And it'd be Round the Twist Exposed, and it'd be some bloody YouTube channel, has millions of subscribers, and that would be what they'd do. They have some weird theory, and instead of it being Ariel is actually a girl, it turns out she's a trans-dimensional warp being or some shit, and Ariel is actually secretly Linda from the past, and it's not intended to be in there by the creators. Because that's what our media on YouTube has turned into. Instead of just, oh, this is the normal explanation. Nah, fuck that. Go with the retarded one, which is usually some bullshit black hole. You know, like the Berenstain Bears thing.
What's the Berenstain Bears?
So everyone thinks that it's called the Berenstain Bears.
What's the
Well, you
what
don't
are
even
the
know what it
Berens?
is, right? So they're like these weird American cartoon like books of like bears in clothes that I don't know. Like it's like a kid's book called the Berenstain Bears. Right?
Did you read this kid's book?
I never fucking read it. No one else in Australia did. But the thing is, they're actually called Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain.
Right? Yeah, they're called Berenstain though. That's their name.
Berenstain or Berenstain?
Berenstain.
Okay.
Okay. But everyone swears they were called Berenstain.
Why?
And, well, because I imagine because
they're Jewish?
Because, yeah, they think it's Jewish, right?
Okay.
But Berenstain's a weird name. But instead of having this logical explanation where it's like, oh, I misread it or I didn't remember properly. No, they have that Mandela effect, whatever it is, where they think this is alternate universe. They're in an alternate universe where it was Berenstain Bears, okay? That's what they remember, and then that universe has collided with this universe, and the Berenstain Bear universe has taken over to remove all Berenstain Bears from their existence.
That's like the most
Retarded.
mundane alternate dimension theory that I've ever heard.
But people actually believe it is, like, real. That's the thing. That's a fucking weird thing. People are like, oh, it could be true. It's like, no, it couldn't be. You just don't remember things properly, you idiot.
If you're gonna like have a dramatic theory,
Yeah.
base it on something a little bit more exciting than the pronunciation of a bear's name.
Well, it leads into the Mandela effect. You know, people are like, oh, I swear Nelson Mandela died in prison. I remember that distinctly. And it's like, no, what the hell? It makes
Yeah, I
sense.
remember that.
What?
Yeah, I thought he died in prison.
What the fuck? No, he didn't.
I remember him dying.
Yeah.
But I also remember him dying in prison.
You also remember Morgan Freeman in fucking Shawshank Redemption, and then you think, oh, they kind of look the same, don't they? If they ever if Nelson Mandela was ever did what's his name? Morgan Freeman play Nelson Mandela in his movie?
I don't know. Did he play him in the movie? There was the football movie.
Yeah,
throwing the balls.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, but Nelson Mandela didn't. Morgan Freeman didn't die.
Well, it's just that if you think if people out there who actually honestly were like, oh, I really thought he died in prison, it's like, then how do you explain him becoming president? It makes no sense. You mean he becomes president, then goes in prison? God, it makes no goddamn sense.
It's just multiple
He's a
universes.
dead man president. Yeah, multiple universes. That's the most
That's
logical
the reason, man.
explanation.
That's the most logical reason.
I can't be wrong. Got to be multiple universes. You're on board with the theory now.
Yeah, I'm on board, man. Mandela definitely died in prison.
Exactly. It's an alternate universe.
So the Twists walk outside, they're talking about Atlantis, and the Gribbles follow, and they're like, oh, Atlantis is hidden, and all the Twists are invited. And then the Gribbles bust in, and they're like, oh, what's this, Twists? And Ariel's like, well, let me show you. And she shows them this island of dreams out on the island, out on the ocean. And it looks like a Luna Park.
Yeah, kind of does.
Looks like a great big Luna Park.
I suppose that's the Isle of Dreams.
Very close to the south coast of Australia.
Yeah? What? Oh, Luna Park being very close.
No, the island.
Oh, the island. Yeah, well, it's one of those trans-dimensional warp islands.
Yeah.
That just appear out of nothingness. Like, it's kind of like the Vikings. Like, where do you think the Vikings came from? Do you really think they came from 800 BC, or they come from this trans-dimensional warp universe?
Where the Berenstain Bears.
Where the Berenstain Bears are, and Nelson Mandela's in prison.
Sure.
And Mandela was also a Viking in that universe.
All right. And Ariel says, oh, there's everything you want there. You can do anything, and no one's going to boss you around. And the Gribble's like, oh, we want in on that. And Pete's like, well, that's Paradise Lost.
Ugh. Dropping those literary
But,
references. Ugh. You know what I'm saying?
Pete doesn't know what Paradise Lost is.
If he knew what Paradise Lost is, he'd just realize that that's a stupid joke, because him going to Paradise is the exact opposite of Paradise Lost.
Well, he was saying that Paradise is lost because the Gribbles are going to go there too.
He's never read the book, has he?
And Ariel says...
Neither have I, but still, I know what it's about.
Ariel says, don't worry, Pete, there's not going to be any bullying on my special magic island. And Gribbles say, well, that's a nightmare. And Ariel says, you could do anything you want, all day, every day.
But what if I want to bully people?
I don't know.
You say I can do whatever I want, but I can't bully people.
Yeah, you can't bully people.
Well, then it's not really, I can't do whatever I want. Can I?
No.
Do people die there? What's the deal with that?
I don't know. I imagine they die. That's why they need more population. That's why they need more people to breed. And Bronson says, oh, there's going to be no nagging. And Ariel says, well, until Pete and I have children.
Oh,
Children?
Shit. Children?
Because...
whoa, hey, come on now, come on.
Atlantis need to reproduce, and that's how they're going to do it. And so she offers them all one-way tickets
To Atlantis.
to Atlantis.
Which is, you really think it'd be a one-way? Couldn't they go two ways? Because Ariel can clearly go two ways. Not always, but you know.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not talking about it two ways as in like bisexual, but I imagine you could, because there's no rules here saying you can't. I mean, loved one doesn't mean you can't have intercourse with other people on this magic island. I mean, the rules are not set up very clear.
What are the rules?
The rules, as far as I understand, are no bullying, you can do whatever you want, and it's a socialist hellscape because there is no money in this location and there's no need to work. So we know it's a disaster. It's a hellscape masquerading as heaven.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So how do they get money if nobody works?
They just exploit the rich bourgeoisie.
The
They
rich
have all the
bourgeois.
money. Just take it off on them. It's fine.
But then the money wouldn't last very long.
It's fine. It's fine. We find more bourgeoisie.
Is that why they need people?
Yeah.
Because everyone's died of starvation.
They come into the real world and then they jump into bankers like at what's those big companies, Lehman Brothers, right? And they just grab like the retiring bankers and they take all their money with them. Yeah, they don't really care. Gets rid of all the annoying bad bankers. Lehman Brothers actually sets it up as sort of like a little scheme.
I do agree with your point, though. How is she able to come to and fro?
I don't. She's from Atlantis. I guess she has.
Oh, well, she explains it a little bit later on, and we'll get into why they can't leave. I think it's not because they can't. It's because they don't want people leaving, which, again, is not doing whatever you want.
Exactly. That's like saying, oh, you can come to our prison where you can do whatever you want, but you can never leave. It's the Hotel California, if you will.
Hotel...
California.
Or Island California.
Island California. Yeah.
Is that what Atlantis is?
Yeah, it's Island California.
Hotel California.
If you listen to the lyrics of Hotel California, you will think that it sounds exactly like the Isle of Dreams described in Round the Twist. I guarantee it. 100% money back guarantee.
So, Hotel California is a song about people. He wants to stay the night, and then he gets stuck there, and he can never leave.
Yep. And he can't drink his beverage of preference because they haven't served that drink here since 1969.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Is Hotel California a real place? I always got the interpretation it was just, a metaphor.
It's definitely a metaphor.
Then why do people always try and go there and go, I know where the real Hotel California is?
Because they're idiots and they don't pay attention to the song. What kind of place is like, you can never leave this Hotel California? Our place is like, well, we don't serve that beverage here, and we've stopped serving it in 1969. Why? Oh, because we don't believe you should have that type of wine. We just don't like it, so you don't get to have it. No one would ever do it. The only place I can think of is the Scientology Celebrity Center in LA. That could be that sounds like a Hotel California, if you don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, sounds good. To be fair, that's probably what it is.
Actually, probably it is because was it L. Ron Hubbard? It's around about the right time.
Yeah.
No alcohol because it's drugs. Yeah, it fits. Yeah. Actually, the whole
we've
song
worked it out.
Holy shit, the whole song actually does kind of fit with Scientology a little bit.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He wants to stay the night
And it
from
looks really
danger.
appealing.
Yeah, he stays there. Suddenly, like, there's lots of pretty people there. There's lots of influential people milling about. It's like, oh, it's really alluring. And then you're like, oh, okay, I've had enough here and want to leave.
Why you
Can't
want to
leave.
go?
Why do you want to go?
What are you? As
Why
a
do you want to
progressive
drink
person?
alcohol?
Yeah, exactly. And they can't leave. Perfect. Hotel California is secretly about Scientology.
We did it.
We did it,
We
boys.
cracked the code.
Did it.
That's it. We can retire now.
We can because we're going to get sued
We're not going to get sued.
by a Scientology group that is in my book called Anthony and Paul Jennings and everyone else that I've talked about on this podcast. Go to a Scientology center and get a personality test. It's going to be released in 2017.
See that hopefully soon on, I don't know, where do you buy imaginary books?
I don't know. Amazon, probably.
Amazon. Yeah, you can buy anything on Amazon. In the lighthouse, Faye and Tony are arguing about the baby and the car park. And Faye's like, where's the champagne? And I thought for a second, hang on, Faye,
Yeah.
you bad mother.
Yeah, you bad mother.
But then, we find out later she's got a reason for wanting the champagne. But maybe she's just pretending to use that as a reason to have the champagne because she's secretly an alcoholic.
Yeah, maybe.
We're on the beach and Pete's walking with Ariel. And she says, people can't come and go as they want from Atlantis because your culture wants to pave paradise, just like Gribble. If people came and went as they wanted, it wouldn't be paradise anymore. People would exploit it. People would do what they want, and you can't do that here because this is Atlantis and you can only do what you want, not what you actually want.
That sounds a lot like communism.
Super communism.
Yeah, it does.
It's you can do whatever you want as long as I let you.
And also, as long as it helps the proletariats, which is whatever I define it as helping.
You can believe whatever you want as long as I agree with you.
And as long as it's sanctioned by all of us.
You can have all the free speech you want as long as I agree with you.
Yep. And I'm the only one who gets to make that call.
Yep.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds like a paradise. Gonna go over there. Gonna go there.
Sounds a lot like Australia.
Oh, snap, son.
Ariel says, I love you with all my heart, Pete Twist, and I want you to love me.
Oh, hello.
It's a bit stalkery.
Get some loving on.
To be fair, this whole scenario is a bit creepy.
Yeah, it is a bit
She's
creepy.
been sneaking into his bedroom in the middle of the night multiple times, like just showing up, like going, oh, hello, what's going on here? Pretending to be a man. Like this whole thing's not adding up.
Yeah, but like she's hot in the end, so it's okay.
So it's okay.
It's like, well, you're really weird and creepy, but I wouldn't mind having a crack at you. So that's what Pete's thinking.
Classic Pete. Pete and Ariel return to the lighthouse, and Linda wants to learn all about Atlantean culture. And it turns out that you can do that there. And in Atlantis, they have lots of powers. You can float, you can learn to speak underwater, you can speak to aliens, there's time travel, and you can also study the meaning of life.
That's also a Scientology thing.
What's studying the meaning of life?
No, being able to transport things, telekinesis, traveling back in time, and talking to aliens.
Is there any evidence that anybody from Scientology can actually do those things?
No, they're there's the different OT levels.
Yeah.
And some of the ones that were scrapped were above OT 9. And like OT 16 is telekinesis.
But you can't actually get that high.
No one, it doesn't go that far. It's just OT 9, OT 8 is the highest, I think. Yeah. Because obviously they were like, telekinesis, it's a bit far. No one can actually do that. But they could, potentially, but...
I was watching the Louis Theroux documentary on Scientology. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I watched. Have you seen Glowing Clear?
Going Clear and the Louis Theroux Scientology movie make a good double feature.
I'd like to see the.
I think if you watch Going Clear and then you watch Louis Theroux straight away, I reckon that'd be good because Going Clear is about Scientology.
Yeah.
Louis Theroux's Scientology movie is about Louis talking to that Marty guy, Marty, whatever his name is, from the Go Unclear documentary, the anti-Scientology guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's about them and their relationship. Really, it's not really about Scientology. But one of the few Scientology facts that they had in it was that Tom Cruise is like a one level away from being a complete operating thetan.
It's like, first there's me. So first there's LRJ, and then there's Gavin McInnes, and then there's me. Actually, Gavin McInnes is a comedian. Whatever.
Gavin McInnes?
Yes.
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tom Cruise, man. Tom Cruise. What can you say?
What can you say? Nate writes in and he says, Bronson seems very impressed by Ariel's ability to fly because she was floating around showing them how cool she was. And Nate says, perhaps this is because he once flew under the power of his spinning penis.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, could you, like, if I could fly with the power of my penis and I saw some girl levitate, I'd be like, it's nothing. Come on. What? All right, let me show you how to fly. He just like whirls it around and starts spinning his body and gyrating. But he realizes he forgets he doesn't have the fish in him, so he's just gyrating his willy in public.
It could be quite embarrassing for him.
It could be, yeah. Could be a demonstration of his mental illness.
So Linda wants in on this special place, but she doesn't want any kids. She's like, I'm not interested in kids. I just want to learn about the meaning of life.
Well, you can do that.
Okay, whatever.
I have a question for you, Linda. What are you going to do when you find the meaning of life?
Yeah, and what makes you think that Atlantis wants you?
Yeah, exactly.
What use do you have of Atlantis? They want Pete because he can help repopulate.
I agreed, yep.
What benefit do you bring?
You bring nothing, do you?
No.
No. Like,
you're getting all of this stuff for free, and the one thing that's asked of you is have kids, and you're not prepared to do it.
I agree. I kind of agree.
So what makes you think they want you?
Yeah, why would I? It's like, Ariel comes back and it's like, I brought Pete. I also brought his sister and his brother. Great, but we only really needed Pete, so...
Well, Bronson can find a mate there, I guess.
Well, Bronson, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, he can find
what's
someone
Linda
to love.
going to do? Because, like, Linda's like, I'm going to find the meaning of life. It's like, well, they've already found the meaning of life, apparently.
Yeah,
so
she's just learning about it.
You're just learning about it. You're not going to contribute much.
No.
What are you doing there, Linda?
Nothing.
And again, what are you going to do when you find that meaning of life? What are you going to do? You're going to feel good about yourself? You're going to say, oh, the meaning of life is to have children. Maybe it is, right? I don't know. Let's say it's that. Because apparently it's important in Atlantean culture. Is she going to feel conflicted? She's like, oh, God, I don't want children. I want to learn the meaning of life, but now I know it's about having kids. What does that do? Am I not living my life to the potential? Is she going to, like, have this big existential crisis and jump off the Isle of Dreams?
Maybe.
But you can't die in the Isle of Dreams. Then it's a fate worse than death.
Bronson wants in because he wants every type of food, and that's available in Atlantis. And Fiona rolls up to Pete, and she's like, oh, what's up, Pete? And gives him a hug.
Yep.
And Bronson says, oh, Pete's getting married, and he's going to have a baby. And then Fiona's shocked and confused, as you would be.
Yeah.
Mr. Gribble arrives, and Faye has rung him and changed her mind about the ice cream kiosk and invited Gribble for a toast. And Gribble says, may it make millions of people happy.
Yeah, well, there you go.
They toast, and Faye handcuffs herself to Gribble and says, may it never happen.
Oh, she's so sneaky. And then she grabs the key.
Yep.
Because Gribble's like, oh, the key. And she's like, oh, this one? And instead of doing, something smarter, like tucking it away or hiding it, she just throws it into bushes somewhere. And these aren't your comic book joke shop handcuffs. These are like real handcuffs.
Apparently real handcuffs.
They might just be Tony's sex cuffs.
Yeah, well, where do you think she got them on short notice?
Exactly.
Pontillo wrote in, and he said, when Faye starts going into labour while handcuffed to Harold, Matron says, call a doctor, call an ambulance. And Harold says, call a locksmith. I thought it was funny that Matron was calling for a doctor and an ambulance. She's a medical personnel.
Yeah, she is.
Can't she do something?
Well, she's not a doctor. She just helps the doctors.
Yeah, but she would have some experience in delivering babies.
Yeah, she would, but you'd still call a doctor.
Yeah, but mate, that's a joke on the medical establishment, right? I'm a medical personnel.
Yep.
Call an ambulance. I know what to do.
Fair enough.
Call an ambulance.
A little bit dig at the Australian healthcare system, I guess.
It's like first aid, right?
Yeah.
When you learn first aid, the first thing they teach you is
call someone
you're not
else.
prepared to do anything.
Yeah.
Just call an ambulance.
Then why am I even here?
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I even here? I was here to help people with a broken arm or help CPR. So,
well, you can learn CPR.
Yeah, and you know what? You could make it even shorter course, and it's just called D, right? And it's just
What?
dial for a doctor. And then you just let the body just sit there while you're calling the doctor. Because that's all you got to do, right?
Yeah, well, no, there's a few things that you can do that do help. You can look for danger.
Danger is that
You can check-
danger is I could get an infection from kissing that guy on the ground.
You can check for... Well, one of the things that I learned when I did first aid earlier in the year is that increasingly around the world,
Yeah.
they're starting to think that it's okay that any CPR is better than no CPR. So they don't even encourage rescue breathing anymore,
What's that?
which is the breathing into the mouth.
Yep.
It's mostly compressions,
Yep.
okay? But the other thing is they say that if you are not prepared to do compressions with your hand,
Yep.
it's okay if you do it with your foot. Because any compression is better than no compression.
So you basically want to crush his chest.
No, because they teach you,
Jump on him
how
and
to
crush
do
his
it.
ribs.
No, you're not doing it to crush them. You do it with the same amount of pressure. But because any compression is better than no compression, if you're not prepared to use your hands, you can use your foot.
Look at that. What a scene that would be. What a scene that would be. Ambulance rocks up and you're seeing this person just with their foot on someone's chest and just like pushing it in and out. From afar, it would look like you're just trying to crush the person's chest. Like you've conquered your foe and it's like, well, you're not dead yet, so I'm going to try to break your ribcage.
Just remember, if you're going to do CPR, it's staying alive.
Yep, exactly.
Copyright
Copyright infringement. Copyright infringement.
Yes, that's the formula for good CPR. So I'm told.
Yeah, by, I don't know who.
First aid people told me.
Vinnie James.
Who's Vinnie Jones?
Vinnie Jones. He did an ad about it one time.
This is... What?
He did an ad about it. He's like, oi, if you want to save someone's life, just remember to sing BG Staying Alive. Staying Alive. That's what he did.
Not.
He did a fucking ad about it. That's her.
Inside, they're getting ready for the baby, and Linda calls the hospital. So they've only waited until this point for someone to call for an ambulance. And Gribble and the Twist boys, they go outside and they're looking for the key. Gribble and the Twist boys is like some sort of 1940s gang.
Yeah, it would be.
It's Gribble and the Twist boys.
Oh, you don't want to go down that alley. That's Gribble and the Twist Boys territory.
And they're talking about Atlantis. And Pete makes a speech and he says, the girls of Atlantis are depending on us to have lots and lots of sex with them and have lots of babies.
What an absolute difficult task for those boys. I salute them for their sacrifice.
And they all say, oh, maybe we should reconsider our position. Ariel shows up. She finds the key. We rush inside, and Faye's had her baby. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of redundant that you found the key this late. And Tony is mortified. It's actually pretty funny, this whole sequence.
It is kind of funny. It's beautiful and majestic.
Her giving birth on one side of the couch,
yeah,
while chained to Gribble while he's moaning and groaning while Faye's having the child.
Yeah, it was nice.
Turns out it's a girl. And Gribble passes out.
She's amazed. Linda.
Back on the cliff, the Twists and the Gribbles talk to Ariel about their decision. The Gribbles all decline.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we don't want to go there. There's no bullying. It sounds like bullshit. And Linda...
Which, to be fair, that's pretty much their main enjoyment in life, so I can understand them not wanting to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda declines because she's like, oh, I think I want to stay here.
Because I already found...
We don't want you anyway, Linda.
Exactly. You weren't even invited. You were just like, hey, man, I want to take Pete with me. And then you just happened to be there, and it was really rude to not just tell you to go away.
Bronson will only go if Pete and Linda go, and Pete says it's a hard decision. I'm not sure if I want to start over my life. I'm not sure if I want to give up my entire life. You can find a new mate. I can't find a new family. And Ariel says, I knew you were the best around, Pete Twist. And Pete says, I'll never forget you. And Ariel says, I'll always love you. And she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another girl that
yeah.
Pete has fallen in love with that has vanished mysteriously. Well,
I had this, right? I interpreted the scene as Pete laments the idea of stepping outside of the closet and going to Atlantis, which I imagine would be in this one, going to King's Cross. He doesn't want to leave the old world behind. And he feels he has his responsibility to himself and to his own personal image. He should step out of the closet, is all I'm saying, man. He should go to Atlantis. That's the place of milk and honey and happiness.
Sure.
And communism.
Back at home, the Twists meet the baby, and Pete decides, he's like, oh, I know what you should call her. And Pete says, how about Ariel? And he says, that's a bit creepy, naming your sister after a girl that wanted to take you to an island and knock her up.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
It is fairly weird, isn't it? And Pontillo's also written, and he says, after 4 series and 51 episodes, Tony and Faye have had a child of their own out of wedlock. And you know what, Mr. Pontillo? Mm-hmm. That's not true anymore because Faye proposes to Tony and he says yes. Well, not explicitly yes, but
That
he's
still
like...
makes it out of wedlock.
Huh?
Still makes it out of wedlock.
Yeah, but they're going to be married now. So I guess it's less bad. Well, it's not that bad anyway. It's just a thing, isn't it?
You know, it's just a thing, but you know, it's like, oh, it's gonna annoy some of those conservative commentators. As Andrew Bolt will be on his report and he'll be like, oh, what's this other thing on the bloody ABC trying to propagate this idea of not having children in wedlock? This is a destruction of Western culture. It is on decline.
It's just like the two mums on Play School.
Just like the two mums on Play School. We should ban importation of all two mums on Play Schools. I don't know what's going with that.
I don't know. You almost had a joke there.
It was there, it was locked up, and I failed. I feel like a climber. You know, a mountain climber, and he jumps up, and he reaches, and he misses, and he falls to his death.
Poncello's got a question for us. He says, if you guys don't discuss this already, perhaps you could provide your own answers if you were given an invitation to live in Atlantis with the same rules applied as in the episode.
Well, it's easy. It's a socialist hellscape, so I wouldn't go. It's Venezuela. It's Venezuela before it collapsed.
Yeah, you don't really... It sounds good, but there's no actual freedom there.
Yeah, doesn't sound good to me at all.
Yeah, what if they suddenly, declare that toilet paper's a human right? So everyone needs toilet paper, so it has to be sold for $1 each. Then the shops decide that they can't sell toilet paper because they're going to make a loss on toilet paper. So suddenly, toilet paper, which the government has declared as a human right, suddenly becomes extinct. You can't buy it anywhere.
What about this? What if, because there's no violence and there's no aggression, what if someone declares that being right-handed is aggressive to left-handed people, so we need to remove the right hand to protect the left-handed people? I get my arm chopped off, and then people would say it's a good thing.
Yep,
because it's all positive, and it's all based on that. Now, don't like that socialist hellscape. Get it out of here. Get it out of here.
It's called living in Australia.
Living in Australia.
All right.
We're already living on Atlantis, Pontillo. It was a redundant question. No, it's a good question.
There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about, right? Before we talk about our correspondence ratings for the episode.
And summary.
The first thing that I wanted to say was the island of Atlantis, right? The Isle of Dreams. We get a lot of dreams in this episode. Is this finally full circle? We're a long way from the start of the season, and we had a couple of theories floating around back then. One of them was a coma theory. One of them was that maybe these people aren't in the right place. Maybe they're not where they think they are.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in some sort of dream or some afterlife. And what if this going to this dream island is waking up?
What if it is? What if it's like Lost?
It's not like Lost at all. That's the biggest misconception about Lost. Oh, they were always dead. I heard it the other day on a podcast. They're like, oh, it's so bullshit because they were dead the whole time and then they're going to wake up and then... No!
Yeah.
That's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
They were alive the whole time. Yeah. Anyway.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It turns out they were in purgatory.
But what do you think? Do you think there's anything in this idea of going to a dream island? I mean, waking up, or are they going to die if they go to that dream island?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's acceptance of their own death. Because when you think about it, like Atlantis gets portrayed as some sort of heaven, right? And it's even floating in the clouds. So, and a lot of episodes end like that of a season. It ends with them either it's ghost related or it's someone stepping into the clouds. Big Rock, same. It's basically the Big Rock is the exact same thing essentially as the Atlantis.
Yep.
And the Matthew with the lighthouse, similar idea. People off in the clouds. And the first episode was just, I guess, ghosts were coming to protect the lighthouse.
Yeah.
As the beacon. So I feel like there is something to this idea that...
No, but, in the first season finale, those ghosts got to ascend at the episode.
They did.
Maybe this was Pete's chance for his ascension. Maybe they've been ghosts the whole time, and this was their chance, but they just didn't realize.
Well, remember, a lot of seasons have that, okay? First season, Bronson, had the opportunity potentially to ascend when he got a ghost kiss.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't take that offer. Second season, we had Ghost Matthew. Now, for all we know, that could be... I think it's another Bronson one.
Yeah.
Because Bronson didn't know what he was doing, and maybe it's just the family itself could ascend or come together. So maybe we can leave that one. But the third one was clearly about Linda. Because Linda had a thing for Snorri's son at one stage.
Yeah.
And was contemplating potentially going. But then, of course, Snorri's son and the girl, Helga, were supposed to be married in the end. So nothing happened. And the fourth one, this is Pete's chance at ascension. And this is the most direct chance at ascension. Nothing has been more closer than this.
Yeah.
And they all reject it. Maybe this is like some sort of rejection of opportunity by the Twists.
Sure.
they favor family over personal gain
Perhaps.
or personal enlightenment.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that more next week when we talk about our series summary, and
then after that, our entire season summary, and then
we'll work out what we're doing later.
yeah, we're gonna do something. Maybe we're gonna have some guests on. Hey.
So, Pontillo's summary says, a warm exit for Series 4 and potentially the show, although it left me wondering what the conclusion to the Gribble's ice dream kiosk plan was, presumably terminated but not actually confirmed, and whether Pete and Fiona got back together after Ariel left. Not a lot of actual conclusions in this episode.
No.
To the actual subplots of the episode itself. He's given it 7 out of 10 bowls of spaghetti and a rehashed ice cream. Would you eat a rehashed ice cream?
Why not? Why not? I like that. It sounds like a stoner's dream.
It sounds like an ice cream that your mum's like eating in her mouth and then into your
To
your
me,
mouth.
it sounds like an ice cream sandwich, but then you've opened the sandwich and you've put like marijuana inside the ice cream.
Rehashed,
yeah, and then you close it and then you eat it. So Tony would definitely have that as well.
So thanks, Pontillo. You did a great job this season.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we'll have you on in a couple of weeks to talk about the series as a whole, but we'll see how we go.
That'd be good. It'd be good.
It'll be good.
People would be like, "Oh my gosh, someone with talent's coming on the show." You know,
We'll be out of a job.
I'll be out of job now.
Nate's summary, he says, it's a little bit disappointing that the Ghost Night build led to such low conflict finale. Faye had the baby, and each of the kids asserted that they liked their current life relative to the promise of paradise, but that's really all that happened. Hard to think of anything else to say, really. 2 out of 7, cups of raw pasta in milk. I have to agree with you. This was very low conflict. There's nothing actually happening. They get offered a choice, and it's like, oh, should we take it or not? I don't know. Let's stay here.
Well, I actually liked it a bit. So I ended up giving it 7 out of 10 final bowls of spaghetti and a nightcap.
And a nightcap.
Just to let the whole thing go down, so to give it a sunset, rest on the series. What about you, Joe?
I'm going to give it 1 out of 10 dreams, like the dream chocolate bar.
Oh, okay, fair enough. 1 out of 10, that's pretty low.
Oh, well, not 1 out of 10, 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10, there you go.
It's not great.
Not great,
episode.
no, it's not.
Especially to finish the entire series.
Actually, I liked it a lot.
You know, I don't think they thought that this was going to be the last episode.
Really?
Yeah, because, at the end of season 1,
Yeah,
I think they knew. Or at least they thought there wasn't going to be any more around the twist. Because they have that thing at the end where they're like, wave.
Yep.
They're all in front of the lighthouse. It's like, oh, we did it. And then they brought it back a few years later with a different cast, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But in this series, I think they thought maybe they were going to keep going the following year.
Well, because they didn't do it at the end of season 3, did they?
Nope.
Well, yeah, they probably did. They were like, yeah, no, we're going to scrap that. We're definitely going to do it the next year. Then 9/11 happened and no one was interested in Around the Twist.
I'm pretty sure that 9/11 was before this.
I don't know about that, man.
Anyway, that was everything in that episode. We got through that.
Everything.
All right. Did we have any other feedback we wanted to talk through?
Nope.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I mean,
It's a short episode.
Is it a short episode?
Well, it's not short. It's about on time, which
There you go.
is quicker than I thought it was going to be.
It's on time. It's on time, boys.
Is there anything else you want to talk about relevant to the episode?
No, I think I've had enough. I've had my dig at.
We'll save it for next week
the
when we talk about the series
and
in
all
general.
That, so, yeah, I think we're good. We'll save it for that.
Yeah, we'll go through it all next week when we talk about the series in general. That's pretty much it. If you are interested in letting us know on what you think about any future episodes we do, including the top 10 lists that we do occasionally, or the other episodes of TV shows that we do, or what you think we should do next, because we're still not entirely sure what we're going to replace Around the Twist with. So if you have a very strong idea, very strong opinion, you should let us know. Mm-hmm. And the best way to help us as a podcast is to give us a star rating on iTunes. That's by far the best thing that you can do. And if you want to talk to us directly, how do you contact us?
You can find us on all the social medias: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for Tales from the Twist, or join Chicken Twisties on Facebook. It's where all the cool people hang out. They do behind-the-scenes things, just like this Pontillo's Pontification and Nate's note. We'll call them Nate's Notes. And Phil Bates is his philosophies. You know, when we do our new show, we're probably going to have more things just like that.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised why not. And if you want to be a part of that, go join Chicken Twisties. Also, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. Give us a rating, as Joe had said. And I'm giving away Chicken Twisties. Just give us a rating, screen cap, send it to us at Tales from the Twist on Facebook, or join Chicken Twisties and post it there. And lastly, go to our website, talesfromtwist.wordpress.com.
That's talesfromtwist.wordpress.com. And that's everything that we've got time for. Anything else you wanted to leave us with as we go about our weeks?
Just remember not to, if a woman or a man who's been watching you while you sleep offers you a one-way trip to a magical island, it's probably best advised you don't take it.
Yeah. That sounds like fairly sound advice to me.
And by island, I mean a windowless van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, have a great week and stay twisty.